Thalassophobia. I really hope I'm saying that right. Now I can't say it anymore. Thalassophobia? No. Thalassophobia. So although the name is very long and complicated, the meaning is very simple. It is the fear of vast, deep, and often very dark, unknown bodies of water. In particular, it is a person's fear of the great unknown right below their feet. I know that I personally struggle with this fear, and a lot of you may already know this. I have made a video about it before, but the first few years of my life, I actually lived in Antigua, which is an island in the Caribbean. So I was constantly, every single day, just surrounded by water. So you would think that I love water, right? Wrong. And listen, oceans are beautiful, lakes are beautiful, rivers are beautiful, water in general is beautiful to look at. I just don't want to be in them. Like whenever I see a photo of a huge wave, I almost pee myself. So this video is definitely gonna be hard for me to film. It was already hard for me to research. Every time I saw a picture of a huge body of water, I was like, ah. But as I said, it's just pictures. It's not like I'm actually out in the ocean, so I will survive. And actually, a lot of people have thalassophobia. Have you ever been freaked out by like walking out into deep water or dark water, or if you're in a boat and you look down into the dark deep ocean, have you ever been freaked out? Because that could mean that you have this too. But if you're unsure about this fear, I'm gonna show you some pictures, and if any of these pictures make you think, oh, then you probably have thalassophobia. Is this a weird series to be making? I don't know. I'm kind of having fun. Cause like think of how many fears and phobias there are in the world that have these crazy names. Like this could be an endless series. Let me know if you like this, but anyways, let's get into these photos. I found quite a handful online that we're gonna look at. And like I said, if they make you, then you probably have it. Do you like my sound effects? Okay, so here's the first picture. This is a real photo of sculptures holding hands in a circle way deep under the water, okay? Imagine scuba diving down there thinking, oh, I'm just gonna see some beautiful fish today, and you go by that. This is one of the many reasons why I don't scuba dive. This gives me the heebie-jeebies. Ooh, this next one. This one just shows you how deep and dark things are below your feet. Like this baby has no idea what is under him. Could someone save the baby, please? Okay, this is a real sign out there in the ocean. Apparently this sign is directly in front of an underwater cave to warn people to stay away unless you're like a professional diver. It says, stop, prevent your death, go no further. Fact, more than 300 divers, including open water scuba instructors, have died in the caves just like this one. Fact, you needed training to dive. You need cave training and cave equipment to cave dive. Fact, without cave training and cave equipment, divers can die here. Fact, it can happen to you. There's nothing in this cave worth dying for. Do not go beyond this point. And there's a really creepy dude with like dead divers around his feet. That is, this photo just freaks me out so much. And the fact that it's like dark and someone's just like shining their flashlight on it. But I mean, I guess it's good they have this sign because it prevents like people injuring themselves. Okay, so here is another picture of statues. I don't know what it is, but statues that are just like standing still underwater are so freaky. Standing still, as if statues move in everyday life anyway. But all their eyes are like closed and they look like regular people just walking around. I don't know, there's something so weird. Like I get such a weird vibe from pictures like this. Oh, this next one. This is the diver that found a plane at the bottom of the ocean, and the picture's all like blurry and just creepy. And I don't know about you guys, but whenever I'm like flying in a plane over large bodies of water, that is when my anxiety is at its peak. Oh no, 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 no. Okay, when I first saw this picture, I literally thought there were like eels in the wave, and I was like, oh my gosh, these people are gonna get zapped. Is that what eels do? Do they zap people? I don't even know really. But after reading further, I found out it was just giant seaweeds, which I don't even know which one is creepier. I mean, I've heard so many stories about people going out into the water and like seaweed like attaching to their leg and they get stuck and like watch when I'm the only one watching this video that actually has thalassophobia and everyone else is like, Jessii, it's water, relax. Please tell me down below if you have this phobia as well. Okay. This is a really large snake that, I don't know, it looks like almost like this place flooded a little bit or something. Because look at the house, it's like sort of underwater, but this snake is just roaming free in this water. And what sucks is that the color is kind of like the dirty water, and like, what if you didn't see that there? This phobia also has to do with like things that are unknown in water. So like snakes, sharks, jellyfish, stuff. Ooh. It doesn't help that I also have this really huge fear of snakes. So like, I don't even know what one that one's called. Can I look that up? Hold on. I want to know what the intricate name is for the fear of snakes. Name for fear of snakes. Ophidiophobia. Ophidiophobia. So I have thalassophobia and ophidiophobia, and this is like a tongue twister. Okay. So this is a guy who just wants to go surfing, and clearly in the wave there is something there. It looks like a shark, but I think I read a bit more and it might be a dolphin. Like my fear is so strong that I would never even like swim with dolphins. I know they're like harmless and so much fun and cute and they save lives and stuff, which is great. But oh man, I was watching Aquamarine last night with my sister. Don't ask, we love that movie. And there's a scene where they're like swimming with dolphins and I was like, heck to the no, would I ever do that? Okay, this is another statue underwater. But what's more interesting about this one is that it looks like it's actually breathing because all of the bubbles come out of its mouth, which is honestly really cool, and the picture looks cool. Would I want to be there actually in front of it? No. Oh man. Oh boy. You know what? After learning about, you know, Jonah and the whale as a kid, you know, where the whale just swallows up Jonah. Whenever I see pictures of large sea creatures that have big mouths in front of divers, I'm like, it's about to eat you, dude. Wouldn't that whale, what is it? Is it a whale, some sort of big fish? Wouldn't it think that's food? Like the person there is something it would want to eat? I mean, I'm not a marine biologist. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But, I mean, that mouth looks like the size of a house. So I would stay far away. Oh, waves, waves, waves. I just like, whenever I see pictures like this, I imagine myself just out there having a nice swim and suddenly this is behind me. Like when that falls, isn't that so like strong and dangerous for someone to be under, right? Guys, this freaks me out so much. I like admire surfers and scuba divers and people who go out on boats. I admire all these people because they have some serious like bravery. Oh, see, I saw this picture and the description was saying that they think this could have been like an alien because it wasn't an actual person they caught. It was like a figure that looked like humanoid sort of. So I mean, this picture could even be like a conspiracy, but it does look kind of alien-like. It could actually just be another underwater statue. I don't really know, but it's dark and scary. Oh, oh my gosh. Okay, jellyfish scare me enough as it is. Sorry. I went to PEI with my family back in 2009, 2010, and on the beach there were tons of these little tiny jellyfish that were kind of like in the surface water, like in the shallow end, and a ton of these kids and stuff were going out swimming and getting stung, and like the jellyfish were small enough that it wasn't causing serious damage, but I remember I was so afraid of those. So could you imagine being in the water and seeing a jellyfish that looks like the size of literally someone's house? You would get wrapped up so quickly in those tentacles, it's just not even funny. But I mean, the pictures are amazing. Like all of this photography honestly is amazing. It just freaks me out. I feel bad for you guys because you're just watching me like react to photos that make me flip out. Are you having fun today? Your parents are like, hey, what'd you do today? And you're like, oh, nothing, just watch Jessii totally freak out looking at jellyfish. All right. I think this picture should like define thalassophobia to a T. It's just insane how big the ocean is compared to a small human. I mean, look at that. Look how deep it goes, and that's not even the whole thing. And stuff like this, like people who go explore like caves and just like these dips in the ocean, it's just so cool. I'm so impressed and so freaked out. It almost kind of looks like there's like a light shining out of that hole. I mean, like, can I just transform into Moana? Because, like, she wasn't afraid of the sea. Like, can I just be Moana? This one, this was a picture someone took of a sunken ship. That's crazy. I hope everyone got out of the ship okay before it sunk, though, because that's a little serious. I remember, oh gosh, was it back in 2011? I went snorkeling with a friend. I've done a story time on my channel about that before. That was like the scariest day of of my life. And we were snorkeling over these sunken ships. And I mean, it kind of reminded me of Little Mermaid. You know the beginning scene in Little Mermaid? For some reason, sharks like to linger around sunken ships. I think just because there's more fish there and like more hideouts for like little creatures and stuff. So the sharks know. The sharks know where they can get their food. And here are some more underwater statues. I don't know if it's just me, but this first one looks like Bruce Willis. Is that just me, or am I crazy? But these are being like engulfed by seaweed. I guess these were put in before like the seaweed started blowing up around them. Whoa! This is someone looking over the side of the boat, and there's so many manta rays. Is that what these are? Because there's two different names of things that look really similar. A manta ray and a stingray. That's what I'm thinking. Manta ray, stingray. I think manta rays are bigger than stingrays, but I could be wrong. I don't really know what I'm talking about. But wow, there's like hundreds and hundreds of them. That would be so insane to see, guys. And then there's this one. I think someone was kayaking and looked over the side, and this fish was just staring at him. I mean, as long as he keeps his distance, that's fine. Stare at me all you want, just stay away from me. You guys have probably seen so many pictures like this where it's like an overshot view of like a kayaker or someone canoeing or something, or someone in a small boat, and there's like the shadow of a huge whale or like great white shark or something. Like, what if that whale just in this moment decided to jump up? You're Ghana, your ship is going. Oh my gosh, so this is a propeller of a boat compared to a diver. Like, look how much bigger that is. Oh man. And this is the last picture. It is a picture of a beluga whale, I believe, and it looks very terrifying. It's the shadows are not doing it justice. Because belugas are actually really cute looking, but this picture is kind of the opposite, to be honest. But today we are covering this fear, and I hope that I can pronounce it correctly. You already saw it in the title. It's a bit complicated. Give me a second to try. It is called Automatonophobia. 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 I think I got it. It's an even longer word than the last time, if you can imagine that. Basically, it's a fear of human-like figures, and a lot of people have this fear. It could be wax figures, it could be humanoid robots, it could be animatronics, mannequins, dolls, anything that looks human figured but is not alive. Now, I don't have a really serious fear of this. I would say if I am afraid of anything that's human looking, statues really freak me out. Statues and sometimes dolls. And while I was researching this, apparently most people, like 90% of people in the world, have a nervousness when they approach certain figures like this. It doesn't mean you have a full-blown phobia, but maybe you unconsciously just get nervous when you approach them. It's like an uneasiness. Like, have you ever been to a wax museum before? As cool as it is, and I really enjoyed going to one, there's something about approaching figures that are not alive that is just so uneasy. Now, Automatonophobia can relate to a couple other fears. One of those fears is called maskophobia, so obviously the fear of people wearing a mask. If you ever go to Disney World or Disneyland, and if you were afraid of the characters walking around, you probably have maskophobia. So this is more of an actual human being, but they're covering their face with something. So automatonophobia, which we're covering today, is sort of like a more general phobia that covers all of those things I mentioned: statues, wax figures, robots, anything that's not alive but looks human, you know what I mean? So we're gonna be looking through photos, and if you are afraid of any of the things I'm about to show you, you probably have this fear. So get ready. This part always makes me so nervous. But we're gonna do it, okay? I'm just gonna move over a bit. Move my nice new stool. So this first one is a human-like mannequin sitting on a couch. And I think the most unnerving part about this is that she looks so natural sitting there, because usually you see mannequins looking like totally like up straight, stiff, everything. But she's almost in a relaxed position, which makes her look more real, and it's freaking me out so much to look at. And what's even more strange is that when I found this picture, it said that it was in someone's house. So this is not a mannequin in a store. Someone actually owns this mannequin and lives with it. So to each his own, but I mean, This next one is a little boy mannequin, and I don't know, what freaks you guys out more? When the mannequin is wearing like human clothing, or when it's just clothing-less and it's just kind of standing there staring at you? Which one's more freaky? I think it's more freaky when they're dressed up to look like this, like a little boy. This next one, it makes me feel so weird when you walk into a store and they have like unique mannequins, you know what I mean? So like for instance, this one is sticking out his tongue, which by the way, looks too big for his mouth. I don't know what's going on here. And I guess the eye fell out by accident. But like, you know when you walk into stores and like instead of like your standard mannequins, they have ones that are like, and like doing different things? Like, no. Oh man, imagine walking through this clothing store trying to find a nice outfit and you head to this weird shirt section at the back and this guy is staring at you. His face is like, I can't handle it. I would actually scream in this store if I saw this. This is what I mean about unique mannequins. You know what they kind of look like? You know the Who's from Whoville and the Grinch? That's what they look like. It looks like a camel just came over and licked their hair and now it's kind of like this, you know what I mean? I don't know, would this make you want to walk into this store? Because, oh no. So also ventriloquist dummies also fall into this category because like I said, it's a human-like thing, but it's not alive, and ooh, these dummies freak me out so much. And like, why is this person taking a picture of their newborn child with this thing looking into the crib? And I hate how his hand is like kind of there. Like, it just looks so human, so creepy. No. Oh, this next one. I don't know, guys. I mean, these are all like vintage photos of ventriloquists, and back then this was like a really big deal. A lot of people were putting on shows with these dolls. People found it hilarious. People loved it. And I think over the years it became more and more creepy because you don't really see this very often anymore. But yeah, these ventriloquists were very attached to their dolls, and that's why they took so many photos with them. And I don't know, I feel like they think they were their children or something. Oh yeah. Like, why would you want this doll peering over your shoulder like that? It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. And I mean, I'm not one to judge. If this makes someone happy, then, you know, do it. Good for you. But there's no way I would go to a photographer and be like, so can you take a picture of my creepy doll and I'll have it over my shoulder and he'll just be looking at me like this. Oh man, like I told you guys, I am more afraid of statues than anything else, and this was taken in night vision, I guess of someone walking through a graveyard. Imagine walking into this, and don't get me wrong, statues like this, they're so beautiful in an eerie way, but I think approaching one at nighttime would just give me the heebie-jeebies a little bit. No! No. Why does the mouth need to be open that wide? What was going through this person's head when he thought, hey, I'm gonna make a mannequin look like this? Relax. Close your mouth a bit. Relax. I think it's supposed to look really happy and like, you know, joyful, but I mean, take it down maybe 40% or 60% maybe. It looks like I'm gonna walk through this store and this thing's just gonna swallow me whole, you know? I don't get it. Oh, yeah, here we have another. I think he's actually a doll maker, and he's taking a picture with all of his doll heads, you know, proudly displaying them, and he's cool with it. He's totally fine with it, but I'm not, so. Of course, we have the classic Chuck E. Cheese. So this is obviously an animatronic, and this is sort of a more vintage picture, so I probably saw this version of Chuck E. Cheese when I was growing up because I was there in like the early 90s going to birthday parties, and this looks familiar for sure, and it just looks like a depressed Chuck E. Cheese, and it's probably good they changed the way he looks recently. Yeah, me and animatronics will never get along. So I guess this is a ventriloquist. That's what they call them, right? Because ventriloquist dolls, so you must be the ventriloquist if you're the one controlling it, right? Am I dumb? Anyways, this guy is putting on a show for little kids, which, you know, looking at it now, it's freaky, but I think back then they loved it. So, I mean, what are we to do? It's weird how what freaks us out in this modern day and age didn't freak people out back then. It's weird how time changes your mindset. Ugh, something about this, like this picture of this statue makes me so sad because I think she's crying over like a gravestone, which is heartbreaking. But at the same time, whenever a statue covers their face, I just get this feeling that I don't like. No. You're telling me You're telling me they put happy faces on their mannequins? I think this whole store, this whole clothing store, all of their mannequins have happy faces instead of like human faces. Who thought of this? I just want to know who the creative designers are for a lot of these mannequins. I genuinely want to know what their process was when they designed them. And I mean, cool, you know, hipster store. I'm trying to be different and have different mannequins. Cool. Maybe make them less scary, all right? Okay, yep, this is another guy posing with his ventriloquist dummy. Why were they called dummies? Dummy. Is it because they're supposed to like be funny and dumb when they're on stage? And here is a family portrait. I think this is a husband and wife who both put on shows with these ventriloquist dolls. I don't know, like I said before, when I see pictures of like stuff like this, I feel like these two people have claimed these dolls and think they're their children. I get this vibe. I feel like you could base a horror movie off of this, you know? Yep. Okay, this doll out of all of them looks the most human just because it's looking at the guy and he's like covering his mouth like, shh, don't let them know you can talk. No. Here's another one of those wide mouth mannequins in a random store. This one's kind of like dirty and weird, but why? Why are stores taking this in? I just don't get it. Oh man, this statue gives me the vibes. Like, oh, I just actually got chills looking at this. Like, it's just so dark, but intriguing, but also I wouldn't want to go that close to it. It's one of those things that you fear if you get too close, it'll suddenly move. You know what I mean? Oh, this one. Why does this look so oddly realistic? I think this was taken in a room filled with old broken mannequins. Have you ever walked into a room like that? Because I have before, and it's the creepiest, especially when it's quiet and you're just staring at these broken dolls like all lined up in a row in a dark room. Today's fear is called, let me try and get this right, Ommetaphobia. I think this one might be the easiest word to pronounce so far in this series, Ommetaphobia. To sum it up, this fear is the fear of eyes. And I know that might sound weird to you at first, like,
really, Jessii, the fear of eyes? Like, eyes weren't even scary.
Well, this could mean a bunch of different things. You could be afraid of putting things near your eye. You could be afraid of things with a bunch of eyes, like bugs, aliens, monsters. You could have a fear of looking directly into somebody's eyes. It could be the fear of the eye doctor. There's so many fears surrounding Ommetaphobia to do with eyes. A lot of people who have this fear had some sort of eye-related trauma when they were younger to cause this fear in their older age, but that's not the case for everybody. Some people just find eyes disturbing. So, you guys know the drill. I am about to show you some images, and if any of these images make you feel creeped out, gross, disturbed, you probably have Ommetaphobia. Now, for me personally, I have a fear of putting things near or in my eyes. For example, I cannot wear contact lenses because I cannot handle the feeling of my finger on my eye. No way, Jose, not in a million years, I cannot do it. I have really terrible eyes, so I wear glasses. Obviously not when I'm filming because glasses have like a glare on them, not a good situation. But my eye doctor for years and years has been trying to put me on contacts because they're just easier. And the first day he tried, I cried and cried because I didn't want his hands near my eyes, just no. So then he put me into contact lens classes. There are literally classes you can go to be taught how to put a contact lens into your eye. I went to my very first class, cried the whole entire time, didn't even get the contact lens like this close, all right? The teacher of that class got so frustrated with me, I was basically kicked out, and I just, to this day, I cannot put in contact lenses. So I think that is the section of Ommetaphobia that freaks me out personally. I also don't like bugs with millions of eyes. Like spiders and stuff. Anyways, so let's look at these pictures together. I'm gonna move over so you guys can see better. And yeah, I'm really nervous. Okay, so here's the first picture. It is like some sort of doll mannequin thing with bulging eyes. This might actually also be like a Halloween mask. I'm not really sure. But apparently another part of Ommetaphobia is any sort of bulging eyes. You know that trick that some people can do where they actually push their eyeballs out of their head? That actually makes me want to vomit. I've told this on my channel a million times before, but when I was a kid, for literally 5 years straight, I thought that if you sneezed, your eyeballs could fall out of your head. And then one day I asked a doctor about it and they were like,
no, Jess, That literally can't happen.
Oh, this is obviously a photoshopped picture of a cat with 4 eyes, but like I said, the fear consists of like a ton of eyes on an object, on an animal, on a human. It's just like a ton of eyes staring at you aren't very fun. I've also always wanted to touch a hairless cat because they must be so weird feeling, you know? They probably feel like my hand, literally. Oh, I think this is like a close-up picture of a poster for the movie The Mummy, I believe, but it's showing that this girl on the poster has 2 irises in her eyeball. That's what they're called, right? Irises. I am not an eye doctor, as you may know. But yeah, that's so spider-like. Imagine if I had like 2 irises. Like, would you guys still watch my videos? Be honest. Oh yeah, here comes the close-up pictures of the bug eyes, guys. I do not know what bug this is. Looks like it's probably a fly or something. It's low-key really cool looking. I love the colors and the patterns, but also, I don't know how much longer I want to look at this picture, guys. I bet there's gonna be so many photoshopped pictures of a bunch of eyes on animals. I already have this like inkling. So this is a rhino with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eyes on one side, so I'm assuming he has 10 eyes total. And man, I feel bad for this guy. He does not look happy about having that many eyes. I feel like if things like this actually existed in real life, there would be like a freak show for animals. You know what I mean? And that would be so sad. You know what? I guess circuses already are like that. And circuses are so cruel. Don't go to circuses, guys. Don't do it. Not Jessii Vee approved, okay? Who am I, Jeffree Star? Okay, yep, this is a picture of someone putting in a contact lens. This probably freaks me out the most, as I just said. I can't imagine how, if you put on contact lenses, good on you. I am so impressed by you. I want to be you. I will never be able to do it. I think that putting them in isn't even the worst part. It's when you take them out and you squeeze like your eye. No. Okay, so this is a porcelain doll with very realistic looking eyes and eyelashes. With this fear, a lot of people don't like when realistic eyes are on fake objects, like mannequins, like porcelain dolls. I guess they just look too realistic for something that's not real. You know what I mean? Oh no. The sound effects that I make in these videos are so embarrassing. So this is an actual, what is that, a bee, a wasp or something on someone's eyeball. And I bet it's like licking the eyeball with its little like tongue licker. Tongue licker? You know those little like tubes that bugs have to like lick things? This is why I never went into like science or anything. Ew, I don't know if this is photoshopped or real. These noises. You could not pay me $1 million to do this. There's something stuck in my throat. Maybe it's the bee. Ew, I don't know what this is from. It looks like a poster to like a movie or something, but it's someone when they like roll their eyes back and the eye veins are forming help me, which is like really cool, but really gross. Are any of you guys able to like roll your eyes back? Cause I've never been able to, and I'm afraid that if I do, they'll just roll back and stay like that. Let me try. I'm looking up. I'm trying to go back into my forehead, but I can't. Ew. Okay, another Photoshop picture. So this monkey's kind of cute. Like if you cover like his forehead eyes, like adorable. But with the 4 eyes, yeah, I don't know. I wonder what it'd be like to see with multiple eyes. Would you have like double vision and stuff? Like what is that like? So this is somebody who made their lips look like an eyeball, which is super creative. I'm kind of like digging this. They even put fake eyelashes around their lips like this. Is cool. I feel like this would be like a really cool Halloween like makeup idea, so and keep that in mind. Ew! No. Okay, a lot of paint is non-toxic, you know what I mean? But to put in your eyes, that's probably never a good idea. And like what's weird is that there are entire communities online, like Instagram accounts, people on Tumblr, who have this thing about putting items into their eye, like paper clips, erasers, pencils, like not into the actual eye, but like underneath like the eyelids and stuff, just for photography reasons. And it disturbs me. Never put things in your eyes, guys, okay? If you want to be blind forever, do that, but I bet you don't. I mean, I'm assuming this is like eye-safe paint, like in movies they have to use that, but Oh, okay, this is actually kind of cute. I've always found like goldfish eyes to be like little brains on their faces, and it's kind of cute. And they always just look stunned, like they have no idea what's going on. They're just like, Ew, is this a mask or something? What the heck is this? So not only does it have 6 eyes, it has 3 noses, 2 mouths, and 3 ears on each side. Oh my gosh. I'm like intrigued, but disturbed. Like, some Halloween masks just go too far. Ew, okay, so here are these spider eyes. Ooh. Whenever I see like spiders this close up, I think of like Harry Potter with the giant spiders. I think of like Lord of the Rings with the giant spider, because those are the only times you really get to see spiders like that big in your face. And they're actually so furry, and you forget that until you see really like up close pictures. Oh, okay, why is this really cool? I kind of want to like steal this idea for like Halloween this coming year. So they cut out holes for the eyeballs and put like those fake like bouncy ball eyeball things into them, and then put candles on so the eyes are all like lit up and stuff. I love that. Okay, I'm literally taking so many mental notes right now. Ooh, okay, this is obviously, it's either a painting or it's photoshopped, obviously, but it's of like someone's actual eyeball just like leaking. Okay. Hey guys, it's Jessii Vee, and I'm here with my sister Mandy Vee.
What's up?
Welcome back to another episode of Know Your Fear. Today we're gonna be talking about something called, I'm gonna try and get this right, hold on, Trypophobia. Trypophobia. And usually I do this series by myself where I show you guys pictures, but today I thought because I have someone right here with me that actually has a horrible reaction to these pictures, we're gonna use her today as an example of fear.
When she literally called me and asked me to do this with her, I was like, you're really gonna do this to me right now? This is just mean.
I just think it's interesting to have someone in an episode that actually genuinely
I have it bad. I have it bad.
So it's basically a fear of a cluster of holes. It could be on an object, on an animal, on anything really, but people have a serious fear. I guess it's sort of the unknown of what's in the holes, why the holes are there. A lot of the time it's because people think whatever the item is, it's diseased. People link sort of a cluster of holes with sickness. What makes you so afraid of a cluster of holes?
It kind of reminds me of like pimples and like something's gonna come out of it, and it does kind of remind me of like a sickness.
Yeah.
Something like if you were to squeeze it or press on it, something would come out.
I first knew she was afraid of this because I have this jar in my house that's filled with like decorative items, and one of the items in this jar is like this strange, I don't know if it's a mushroom or a fungus, but it has holes in it, and every time she walks by it, she's like, oh my god, put it away.
Like, I'm actually getting emotional right now. I'm gonna cry.
I don't want to like trigger you or anything.
It's like, okay, well, it's not like, let's just do this. Let's just go.
Okay.
Let's just do it.
So we're gonna show you guys pictures of Trypophobia, and we're gonna see how Mandy reacts, and we're gonna see how you guys react, because if you feel grossed out, scared, creeped out by any of these pictures, you probably have the fear
It's
as well.
just like grossed out. That's what it is. It's not like I'm scared of it. It's just that it grosses me out and it's creepy. I don't like it. Blech.
So this is the first picture. It's clearly someone who did makeup around their lips to look like an octopus. Basically, I want to know your extent of your fear. So some of these pictures are less serious and some are more serious.
I don't like it, but it's not as bad as it could be.
Yeah. This next one is a cat with a ton of holes for eyes. How do you feel about this one?
I don't like it, but I know it's not real, so it
Yeah.
doesn't affect me as much, but I don't like it.
Yeah, it's clearly photoshopped.
I don't like it.
Okay, this is exactly what is sitting in my kitchen in the jar that Mandy hates.
Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it.
But I want to know what this is. Is it a plant?
It looks like a dried up
Plant? Mushroom?
mushroom, maybe. I don't know.
If anybody knows what this is, please let us know, because I have no
Goosebumps.
idea. Okay, this
Beehive.
is a beehive on the ground. A lot of people, their worst fear about, what is this? Trypophobia is beehives, because of the cluster of like holes in the honeycomb.
It actually doesn't affect me as much as I thought it would, because I guess I'm just so used to like what a beehive is.
Yeah, I thought you'd be like way more afraid by now.
No.
Really? We haven't hit like the worst ones yet, I guess. This next one.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
This is like, is this a poster for American Horror Story? Yeah, it is. And they always have like weird posters when they're advertising their show. I think it's supposed to be like a strawberry?
No.
No.
Does it not bother you?
Not as much as you.
Like, it actually, that does not affect you whatsoever.
No, not really.
It affects me.
I'm sorry. How do you feel about octopus tentacles now?
No.
Okay.
It's fine.
So you're like a level, like out of 10, you're like a 7.
No, it's very specific, I feel like.
Another beehive honeycomb on someone's hand. So.
Okay, surprisingly, I actually don't like that.
Is it because of like the depth?
I don't like that, maybe. I don't like it.
But you also hate bees. I hate bees too, so that could be like a reason.
I think maybe it's because of how perfectly like symmetrical it is.
How do they do that though? Do you ever like wonder like how bees perfectly make those?
But then think about like a spider web and how like
that's beautiful too.
It's creative.
Yeah. Nature is crazy.
And like how ants, like they know what to do. Ooh, I actually hate it. I hate it.
Okay, I don't know
what's inside of
I don't know what it is.
I think that's the worst part of it, is that there's like something is inside of the holes that could just come out.
I think this is like a plant or something, or some sort of like
getting itchy.
Fruit maybe? I don't know. You're getting itchy?
Yeah. I'm getting itchy.
An arrow bar. How do you feel about arrow bars?
Well, now that...
You never thought of it and now
now I'm thinking about it.
Everyone's gonna eat arrow bars differently now?
Yeah, now I'm not too sure about it.
Bubbles.
Like originally I was like, but now it's like...
It's bubbles.
It's making me feel sick. Ew.
So this is garlic.
I hate that.
It's garlic that's been cut in half or something, but...
I hate that.
Really? You've never seen garlic before?
I have goosebumps right now. I've never cut one open and made it look like that. I don't know.
So now we're like getting to the pictures.
Who cuts garlic like that?
Well, you don't usually.
You're not supposed to.
This is someone's dress, I guess, on a runway show that has weird hole-ish bumps. No?
No.
Doesn't do anything for you? But you wouldn't wear that.
No? Would you?
It looks like little barnacles attached to her dress. An eyeball! Everyone's eyes have those like weird textures and holes and everything else. No. It's actually quite beautiful.
It is.
I feel like, can I see yours? Yeah.
Yeah. You don't see it like that when you look in my eye.
Can. Yours have those.
I'm just genuinely looking into your eyes. I'm not trying to like give you a look. Why are you making a joke? I literally want to see.
Did you see?
Well, I can see the part that's orangey, but I don't see this.
What do you mean orangey? I don't have orange in my eye.
Yeah, you do. In the center, around the pupil.
Orange?
Mm-hmm.
It's yellow.
No, it's orange. Ew.
These are like...
Ew.
These are SpaghettiOs around like a bowl.
It's fine until I see like the center.
Yeah. But that looks like a beehive. I don't even know how that...
I'm like itchy.
Stop itching.
I'm so itchy now.
She's gonna leave here with like itch marks all over her. This is a mac and cheese burger.
That looks good. Straight up.
Does it though?
Yeah, that looks good.
It's a weird concept. So you would eat stuff with holes in it.
Ugh.
Like strawberries have that kind of look. Strawberries have the little holes and...
Why are you like making a problem?
What's gonna freak you out?
Why are you like making me think twice about the foods that I eat? Yeah, that's
This
upsetting.
is a bike helmet.
That's upsetting.
A bike helmet. This is like something Dad would wear for like more speed.
No. I don't think that would create more speed.
This is a coffee, I guess, with bubbles.
The tweet though. That's funny. Those are bubbles, those aren't holes.
Yeah, but like bubbles can simulate holes, right? Another food item. This is a weird looking cake. This almost looks like, remember those cookies?
I know, yeah.
That like
the
had,
wafers.
Yeah, those were gross. Would you eat that?
No.
Me either.
Definitely not.
Yeah, this is what you meant. This is clearly photoshopped, but it still freaks people out to see like...
Does that not upset you?
No.
What if that was on you?
Okay, well then it would upset me.
Then it upsets me.
But to look at it, like you know it's photoshopped. It almost looks like they're photoshopping those mushroom things onto people.
It really upsets me a lot.
This is
That's gross.
Pie.
That's gross. Ew, why would they do that?
That's
why would
normal.
They do that? No, it's not.
That's normal.
No, that is not normal, Jess. They have it covered. They don't. Clearly, I'm very upset. This is what happens. I don't like that. That is not normal. Pies don't look like that. Pies are supposed to be covered over. Maybe a little bit at the top, but that's it. Nothing, none of that. And it looks messy, like who did that? Look at the sides, who would want to eat that? I'm just upset. I'm just bitter now. Talking badly about the entire pie at this point.
I know what not to bake you now.
No, please don't. I don't like pie.
This is inside of a bread. I think there's like two kinds of people. The ones that holes in food bother them and the ones that like holes in nature.
But then also like the unknown ones that are like just like on body parts.
But those aren't real.
You don't know that.
Like a rash?
No, not like a rash.
So, I have concluded that you don't like the plants and that you don't like photoshopped holes on people. So overall, you're like, I still say you're like 7 out of 10. I'm not a doctor.
I guess. Thanks for that. Like, it bothers me enough to like avoid it and to ask for it to be removed.
Anyways though, thanks for being here to test your fear.
Thank you for having me.
We are going back to our fear series. I have not done one of these since probably the summer. Basically, each video was me talking about one specific fear that a lot of people have, and then I show you images associated with this fear to see if you have it yourself. Now, obviously, if you know for sure you have this fear, don't feel obligated to watch this video. I'm not making this to like make your fear worse. I would feel terrible if that was the case. This is more discovering if you have it, if you don't, or if you're just genuinely curious about this fear. We're actually covering 2 fears in this video. My hair's in my face. The first one is Bathmophobia. Did I say that right? Bathmophobia. And no, it's not the fear of baths. Bathmophobia is the fear of slopes or stairs. So if you have bathmophobia, you might panic when simply observing a steep slope. So you don't even have to be on the slope to be afraid. You could be looking at pictures of slopes. You could be standing far away from a slope. You could be watching a movie that has slopes in it. Kind of like a steep drop. You're afraid. And actually, this fear is more common with animals or pets, which I found super crazy. But when I really think about it, it totally makes sense because sometimes my dogs are afraid of going down specific stairs. And I've talked about in my other video, they're so afraid of going down the basement stairs. And those stairs are steeper than the rest of my house. So have you ever noticed your pets like stare down the stairs like, yeah, I'm not doing that? And this fear is said to really impact people's lives because think about how many times a day you realistically use the stairs. I mean, I know for me, every single day I use them. I sleep upstairs, so to get downstairs for breakfast, I gotta use the stairs. There was this article I found while researching about this 43-year-old mother who literally has to go down the stairs on her butt because she's so afraid of standing up on the stairs. She just feels safer when she's closer to like the stairs. She even has to do it in public spaces like at the mall, at her job, and she says it's really embarrassing for her, and she's currently in the process of getting over that fear. But that just shows you that people actually go through this in the world, and it's really hard. Now, it is said that a lot of people actually go to hypnotherapy for this fear. The hypnotic state allows people to explore painful thoughts, feelings, and memories they might have hidden from their conscious minds. And it could also help people change some behaviors. So like in this woman's case, it would be the behavior of being afraid of slopes and stairs. So I'm about to show some pictures of slopes and stairs that would make people with bathmophobia feel very uncomfortable. So if you know this is gonna freak you out, maybe don't look at the pictures, but if you're unsure or if you're just curious, continue watching. I never show anything like crazy or terrible. It's just sort of examples of what the fear is. And I'm actually terribly afraid of heights, so some of these might actually affect me more than I think they will. So this is the first picture. It's stairs and lookouts on this mountain. I'm not really sure where it is. These are definitely too steep for me. I would not be able to do this, especially because it's high up. This next one is the basement stairs, kind of like what I talked about before. I'm actually not afraid of going into my basement. It creeped me out as a kid, but I could definitely still do it just fine. But as you can see, there's like a creepy monster under there. The next picture is twisty stairs going up to what looks like a lookout or something like that. I'm actually not too bad with stairs that twist around because they're not really going straight up, but I feel like I would get super dizzy after a little while. Okay, these ones. This is the one that really freaks me out. It's just because these stairs are kind of like wedged in between this crevice of this giant mounted rock. I just feel like they look so unstable, and I personally would feel so scared going up and down them. But like everyone's different. This might make someone so excited to go there. All right, here's a picture of an escalator going down. I know when I was a kid, I was terrified of escalators. It just freaked me out that stairs moved. You know what I mean? All right, I don't know why this picture is in here, but this is from, oh, what movie is it called? It's the one when the girl's possessed. But she goes down the stairs like that. I wonder if that that was like a stunt person who actually had to go down the stairs backwards like that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so these are one of the steepest stairs in the entire world. It's almost just like climbing a wall, literally going up. You have to hold on to the chains on the side of the stairs to keep yourself stable. You might even have to be strapped in. I'm not really sure, but these literally go straight up. Here we have stairs on the side of the mountain that have no railing or anything, so you can walk as close to the edge as you want. Some people find this thrilling. I personally don't. Then we have spiral stairs that look just like normal ones in a house. These actually look kind of cool to me. They don't freak me out at all. Here's another picture of spiral stairs. The longer they go down, I guess the more they kind of like freak me out a little bit. Then people have some weird stairs in their house, I guess to be more modern and like creative and artistic, which I'm all for, but I feel like if they were as unstable looking as this, I probably wouldn't feel comfortable going on them. And then lastly, we have a creepy creature at the bottom of the basement stairs, which obviously no one wants to meet. So those are some examples of Bathmophobia. If you feel comfortable saying if you have the fear or not, or if any of these pictures freaked you out, definitely comment it down below, and we're gonna move on to our next fear. All right, this next fear I'm gonna have trouble pronouncing. I just know it. It's called Aichmophobia. Aichmophobia? Aichmophobia? Aichmophobia is a phobia of sharp, pointed objects. Those affected by aichmophobia will feel anxious, worried, and fearful around any object that is sharp and could cause harm. This could include pencils, pens, needles, pins, scissors, and other common household items. And the problem with this fear is that a lot of people are afraid to go to doctor's offices or get their blood taken because of this fear. I used to be very afraid of getting my blood drawn to the point where my parents would have to drag me on the floor to the lab because I would not go. And I've been really sick all my life with different things, so it was very important for me to get my blood drawn. I would sit on the floor and be like, well, drag me because I'm not walking there. I remember my mom one time pulling me to the lab to get my blood taken, and I was screaming and pulling away and like calling for help, and this man had to be like,
are you being kidnapped right now? Do you need me to help you?
And I was like, no, I don't want needles. And I was literally like 14. Like, this has been a lifelong thing for me. With me having Lyme disease now, I actually have to get my blood taken every single month. So I feel like I've gotten more used to it, but I still have a meltdown every time I'm there. Maybe not as much as I used to because it's so like routine for me now, but I definitely have this fear, no doubt. Sometimes you just have to think like, what's worse? Your health getting terrible or you just getting a needle for like 20 seconds? Some people with this fear are even afraid to cook and be in the kitchen because, as you know, when you cook, you're around a lot of sharp things and people are just afraid of being even near them. But I'm gonna show you some picture examples of this fear. So like I said before, if you know you have this, don't feel obligated to keep looking at the pictures. You don't have to subject yourself to that. But if you're curious or just wonder, continue watching. Okay, so this first picture had to be there. It is the one from Sleeping Beauty. She's actually my favorite princess ever. This was the only part of the movie that really bothered me. When I was a kid, I'd actually close my eyes at this part because I couldn't, it just freaked me out to see her finger being pricked by the spindle. So if you were a kid and this part actually bothered you, you might have this fear like I do. Okay, woo. People put in things near their eyes. Freaks me out. We actually did a fear like this probably 6 months ago, but oh, this is it a sea anemone? Sea urchin. And obviously they are super prickly. You do not want to step on one of these. They will hurt like heck. But even looking at one of these, it just gives me like pins and needles everywhere. Okay, this is a puffer fish. I don't really know why this one is in here. I guess because he kind of gets spiky. These things are the worst thing in the world. When I was a kid and I would play in the playground, I would always come home with like 57 of these in my hair, on my sweater, on my backpack, literally everywhere. I would take them to bed and wake up in the morning and be like, how did 104 of these get into my bedroom? Ugh, I hate these. Okay, so this is a cactus that has pointy stuff on it. I actually adopted a cactus this summer and he passed away like 2 weeks ago. But I had named him Spike Wazowski. He was the cutest little cactus in the whole entire world. He didn't live very long. I don't know why. I like watered him when I was supposed to. He was in the sunshine. He had everything he needed. He didn't make it. But it always freaked me out when I got close to him because he was really spiky, but I still cared for him very much. Sharp pencils. Okay, I don't know about you guys, when I was a kid, I liked to use pens more than pencils, but when I had to use pencils, I would make sure they weren't like sharp to the point of this. I would make sure they were just sharp enough that I could use it because I feel like when they were super sharp, they would just break anyway, you know? And then you have animals that are prickly like porcupines. I actually think they're very cute. You have some sharp architecture architecture, which I feel like makes me uncomfortable to look at, but I definitely am not like afraid of sharp architecture. But yeah, those. I think it was my grade 1 teacher who, if I didn't finish my sandwich, she would make me eat it, like would make me finish it. And I remember crying and being like, I can't finish the whole thing. And if I went and snuck and tried to throw it in the garbage, she would take it out of the trash because it would still be in the the sandwich bag, and she'd be like, you have to finish it. And one time she called mom and she was like, you know, she's not eating her full sandwich, and mom's like, that's fine. Like, what are you trying to do?